Sarah, if you want to go ahead and mute yourself, Avril, you too. So just so there's no feedback or any like weird noises when Sharon starts recording.
All right, well, we are recording, and I am just super excited for us to all connect tonight and for everyone who is watching the recording to plug into the playback and just really reflect on, I mean, it's still happening, but reflecting on the amazing year that we've had together as a team and how fun this year has been, how much growth we've seen over 2018, and just all of the impact that we've made along the way, whether it was treating our hostesses to an amazing shopping spree or leaving our guests with a smile on their face and some style solutions. And then, of course, the impact of inviting new people into the business with us and helping them earn extra income and add more yes to their lives, in addition to all the fun and personal growth and challenges and things that we get to do as stylists in the business. So it's been an amazing year, and we're still wrapping it up here. But I think that this is just a really good time where, of course, we're still following up with customers to help them with those last minute gifts, and we're still reaching out and making sure that people know about the insane sale that dropped today, those new sale items, 30% off all the sale, crazy discounts, and just wrapping up our December and our year with so much fun and so much energy. And this is really the time in the season where we start to feel tired, right? And that's normal because this is retail, right? And if you work in retail and in November, towards the end of November and December, if you're not feeling a little tired, kind of, what were you doing, right? Like, this is the time where we really go hard. And the nice thing about it is that our shipping cutoff is on December 18th. I know I'm personally going to plan to do a little bit of prep work for $. Redeem at the end of the month on the 19th, so that is like set and ready to go for when the end of the year, when the $. Redemption comes around. And of course, I will be sharing those words to say and that plan with everybody so that you can do that too. But then we get to like have a long winter's nap and enjoy the holidays with our family and really wrap up our season. So just think about these next couple of days as just that final countdown, that last push to make the most of the holiday season, and then to start to think ahead to 2019. And I want to plant the seed with you to really spend some time when you do disconnect over the holidays, to spend a little bit of time dreaming and thinking about what you want your 2019 to look like, both personally and in your business. What do you want to be celebrating at Hoopla in Denver in July? What do you want to be celebrating at this time next year at the end of 2019? And take a little bit of time while you have the space to dream and think about what you want that to be. One thing that we love doing on our team and really within Stella & Dot as a whole is setting our word of the year. And sometimes you want to put a little bit of thought into that. So that's a great time too when you're enjoying the holidays. Think about what that word of the year would be and how do you want to set your intention for 2019. Then, of course, along those same lines, a few other things that you can do now while you're making the most of these last couple of days is to just start to lay the groundwork for the beginning of the year and for January. I know personally, my goal is to go into the holidays with 2 trunk shows already on the books for January. For me, it's really my own like stress reduction plan, right? Because I want to be able to fully disconnect and enjoy the holiday season and Christmas with my family. I don't want to have that little voice in the back of my mind whispering to me, you have no trunk shows for January. What are you going to do? And I don't want to have that panicked feeling on January 2nd or 3rd when I sit down at my desk and look at my calendar and it's empty. It's not a good feeling. It makes you feel like you're coming from a place of scarcity rather than this place of abundance. And if I know I've got 2 events already planned, I know I'll be able to dive in that first week of January, and I'll know I'll be able to book a few more or add some different events. We're going to have $. Redemption, so I will feel calm, cool, and collected. So I want that for myself, and I want that for all of you as well. And so I wanted to share with you 3 tips that Danielle Redner shared with us today on how to lay that groundwork. And it's really, right now, it's really all about taking action. So yes, I have that goal of the 2 shows booked, but the reality is the more action that we take now, the better it's going to be in January. Even if, hypothetically, those 2 bookings don't come through, I'm still laying that groundwork and taking the action now, and it will pay off in the long run, even if it means a little bit more follow-up after Christmas. So if I were you, this is what I'm going to be doing, and this is what I would focus on if I were you too. Right now, it's all about layering in as many booking conversations as you can have. But at the very least, I would go for 20 before you decide to like wrap up for the holiday season. I would have 20 booking conversations, and it sounds something like this. I'm looking for my first 4 2019 hostesses. You'll get to be the first to see the new line and get free product from it. You know, and then just layering in the normal part of like, I would love for you to be that debut hostess. What do you think? Should we pick a date now, or should I check back in with you on January 4th? So kind of setting that tone that you're going to follow back up, hopefully booking that date now. But again, it's laying that groundwork. If you get a no, I would right away follow back up with, okay, no big deal. Great. Not for you. Who do you know that would like to get that free product in the new year? And asking for that referral. So anything that you can do to take action on that. Then I would also layer in sponsoring and laying the groundwork for at least 10 sponsoring conversations. And that's basically going to be the same wording, just in the variation about the opportunity. And you can just put it straight out there. I like this kind of bold phrasing that Danielle shared. I'm looking to build my team in 2019. Who do you know that would like to have fun, improve their life in the new year, do something new, and earn some extra income? Is that something that you'd be interested in? I really think you'd be great. And then again, if they say no to that right off the bat, then asking who might sound good for them. And then again, layering into that outreach, that you're going to follow up with them on, January 4th, whatever day it is that you plan to check back in. So you're letting them know that they're going to hear from you again. So either they can respond to you now, or it's not going to be a surprise when you touch base with them again. And then, so that's those 2 things, those booking conversations, sponsoring conversations to lay the groundwork. And then the third piece, which is really important for any shows that you do book now for January, just putting in a little extra glue with your hostess coaching than you even do on a regular basis. Because I'm sure we can all imagine that someone might pick a date now, and then it kind of like falls by the wayside, and they get really busy with the holidays, and they are traveling, they're visiting family, everybody's like eating too much food and whatever. And then like on New Year's Day, it's like, people just kind of want to like not see people for a couple of days. And it's almost like they forget that in like 1 week they will want to see their friends. So it could be easy for them to be like, you know what, we're going to have to do February. Let's do a Valentine's Day show. And you're like, no. We want to do this in January. We want to keep that date. So here are just a few tips that are really a tried and true system for helping just layer in a little bit of extra glue, getting those trunk shows to stick for January by building that relationship now. So the first thing that you can do is just include that hostess on your holiday Christmas card list. Send her a Christmas card, write a little note on it. Can't wait to see you on January 17th, whatever that date is, so that when she gets that in the mail, she's gonna remember you. The second thing that you can do is set up now an email card to go out to those hostesses on January 1st. So you can do that through like Paperless Post, any of those e-card websites. You can schedule it to go out in the future. and schedule that to go out on January 1st. So it's kind of that same thing. Happy New Year. Can't wait to see you at your style session on January 17th. It's going to be so much fun. So again, it's just that little reminder, that little building the relationship from you that she is going to keep that date in her mind. And then whatever day is the first day that you're going to be back in your office, reach out to your hostesses via phone and hostess coach by the books. So really no skimping here. And of course, you know, for myself, my goal is to have 2 shows. So that's going to take me like 30 minutes tops to hostess coach both of them and get on the phone and really work through her guest list with her, solidify that date, and just keep the ball rolling. So those are just a few little tips that you can do to bridge the gap from booking a date now or any dates that you already have booked to the beginning of the new year once people get back from Christmas. And I'd even layer in extra stuff like sending her sneak peeks of the new line. Do y'all know that we're going to get the line sheet for the January collection next week? So you can stay excited for that. I know I'm super excited. And really that's all those top tips. So just to, you know, summarize them again, 3 things. It's all about taking action, less focusing on the results. The more conversations you have, the better. Booking conversations, looking for your first debut hostesses of the new line, sponsoring conversations, planting that seed for women who are looking for an opportunity in the new year. And then for both of those things, if not you, who do you know? And then third, that extra special TLC with your hostess coaching to get those trunk shows to stick. So those are my top tips. Happy to open it up for questions on any of the stuff for launching into 2019 strong, or any questions or ideas, or if anyone wants to brainstorm on wrapping up December with a bang, we can dive into that as well too. So everybody's muted. If you want to unmute yourself and ask any questions or add anything, you're welcome to.
So just to add in like a couple, just like a 2 cent, a 5 cent type of thing. I remember my first Christmas season with Style & Dot, and I was like, I want to make December the biggest ever. And you're so focused on sales that you just have no time to deal with January. And just to kind of reiterate what Charlotte said, you are going to be kicking yourself in the butt if you are so sales focused. Like, people are going to shop regardless. When you reach out to them about the sale or about gift shopping or picking up holiday looks or whatever, they're going to shop with you. You might as well, in addition, ice the cake with offering them a style session in January. So just kind of, they're going to shop with you regardless. Like, if you offer them a style session, it's not going to deter them from buying gifts with you. So just remember that, because I remember the first time my first go around, I was so sales focused, and I kicked myself because in January you're like, it's like a wasteland. You're like, it's cold, like no one wants to answer their phone. So like having those conversations now just makes a lot more sense. So all those tips that Charlotte gave are just amazing. And having a set calendar for January is something very, very smart. And the Dot Dollars redemption, prepping for that is also very smart. We're going to make sure we really help you guys with that this year. And yeah, that's it.
Well, I think also just adding to what you're saying about January being a wasteland, I think that's so true. And there's definitely a misconception that people aren't shopping in January.
Yes.
And that, like, oh, it's a bad month to do trunk shows because no one's buying anything. It's right after the holidays. I've had plenty of January trunk shows that completely disprove that. And I actually think it's a great time to host because no one's really doing anything in January. And okay, now I wouldn't recommend hosting on like January 4th or something. Like, that's kind of too close to the holidays. But like 2nd, 3rd, 4th week of January, people have nothing to do, and it's just dark all the time. Everybody has had a little bit of their alone time of being around everybody from the holidays, and they're like ready to see their friends. We're going to have this beautiful new collection, and people get really excited about it because they need a little bit of cheer and sparkle and joy and girl time, and it's like the perfect thing.
And some of my best shows they were themed like January blues parties. Like, everyone has this like winter like ickiness, So having an actual like fun girls' night planned, I feel like January and February are high, I don't know, are great times to do it. I feel like you also have to be, especially coming from someone in New York, like learn how your city rolls. You know, New York, sometimes online shows are better in January. Like just be very cognizant of where you live and what works best for you. But January is great.
Yeah, I
Just
think another tip too, Jess, on that same point is like if you tend to be somebody who likes to like cluster all of your shows into one weekend of the month and maybe do like a like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or like if you like stacking events like that, January and February are not the months to do that because one snowstorm can wipe out your entire month. So I think it's actually much more strategic to sprinkle them throughout the month so that if you get bad weather and one gets canceled, you know, hopefully you'll be able to reschedule it for that same month. But if not, at least you're still going to have your other shows at a different time. And so you're not just totally, you know, screwed up with your schedule. So little tip there too. All right. Any questions? Oh, Avril, you're muted.
Fine.
Oh, now I hear you.
I think the fact that all three of us out of the four are probably going to say the same thing, it shows that we've done this long enough that we've learned the lesson. So in my case, for the last few years, I actually chose not to do anything in January. January was actually my holiday season. And you're right, that misconception of people don't shop. It's not the case. In the case of finishing strong, something to consider the same way that we're thinking of January in terms of the winter blues, which I'm now going to seal because my intention is to have quite a few. What I'm doing is everyone that's shopping right now, I'm offering a December date. Almost like it's Jedi mind tricks because at this point, there are some dates they're not going to pick, right? And then it just makes it super easy to then say, hey, so what about January, you know, and using Charlotte's words. So that's how I'm kind of making it easier and offering to them because most people are going to take the time off and go into that long winter's nap. But some of the girls on my team were continuing to book right through until the end of December. So the idea is we're going to offer December dates, especially for $. That's another idea to kind of end strong, to do an in-person $. redeem. I've personally never done it, and I have a hostess that is interested in doing it. So we'll see how that goes. So that's another way to tag on just one more in that last week to kind of put a bow on things. And then I'm just offering those dates to everybody and then kicking them to January. So that's how I was able to have one in January. So that's one of the tips. And then two, take it from me that chose not to. And this year was the first year that I did get January bookings. Set up that intention, and it does make a huge difference. So anyone looking at this afterwards, please, please, please listen to us. You want to get those January bookings in now. You'll be happy that you took that action.
Yeah, and Avril, I think even if for whatever reason, anyone who's listening, even if you can't seal the deal on a date now, I think you'll even be very happy that you put in, even if it's just like I said, those 20 reach outs. Like, could you do 10 tomorrow, 10 the next day? Or if you work full time and you normally work your business on the weekend, 10 reach outs on Saturday, 10 reach outs on Sunday. Even if you don't hear back from people or you're not getting any yeses, and you're still like setting yourself up for success because it's giving you people to follow up with right off the bat, rather than having to warm somebody up in the freezing winter. Like you do not want to reach out to those ice cold contacts after the holidays. Like, you will be happy. Even if you don't book anything, you will be happy to have the warmed up leads. Of course, obviously the ideal is to book the dates now, right? And have them set up beforehand. But it's all about taking action right now and making that the goal. So really focusing on just doing the reach outs and letting the results come.
And it also keeps you warmed up, right? Like I've noticed when I have had lulls in my business, if I stop talking about the business or if I stop reaching out to people, the next time I ask and like start reaching out about style session dates, I'm rusty and it doesn't flow off your tongue as easily as it normally does. So I feel like it's even just to keep you in the game and keeping it consistent that like, yeah, you're going to take a break, but like I still did what I needed to do to keep my business moving forward through the role of your vacation time. So I feel like it's personal also.
Yeah, that's true. And it's so much easier to ride the wave of momentum, like coming off of a huge November and still the holiday shopping season now in December. It's so much easier to continue to ride the wave of momentum rather than stopping cold turkey and then trying to start again. And you're like, do I even know how to like do a trunk show? Do I know my group? Hello? It gets like, I totally agree with you about getting rusty. All right. Well, are there any other questions, thoughts, things to add?
Let's all wish Carla a fantastic biz launch on Saturday.
Yes! Go Carla!
Talk about perfect timing, right? With that sale and all the things.
Yeah.
So super excited for her. But that's one of the things we'll work on, Carla, is making sure that you have at least 1 to 2 bookings for January by the time we wrap it up. So we're going to try to tick all those boxes and get your buddy to do this with you.
Yes. It's a perfect time.
It is a perfect time.
All right, friends. Well, thanks for taking the time to hop on our last Zoom of 2018. And we will connect again, of course, on our Facebook page continuously in the interim, but we will connect again as a team in 2019. And I cannot wait to see all the gorgeous new product between now and then to reconnect again via Zoom and see all your gorgeous faces and your words of the year. Can't wait to hear what those are going to be. So have a wonderful rest of the month here in December and can't wait to kick things off strong next year. Good night.